Ukraine. Over 50 million Americans across the West are under alert for extreme heat. Forecasters are warning of dangerous heat today from Phoenix, Arizona to Seattle, Washington. Unseasonably warm temperatures are expected in Seattle through Monday. Spokane and Boise will also hit the mid-90s today, and the extreme heat will continue to raise wildfire concerns in the Southwest.
NBC News on KCAA Loma Linda, sponsored by Teamsters Local 1932, protecting the future of working families. Teamsters1932.org.
Good evening. Welcome to the Farron Dozier Show on KCAA Radio, 106.5 FM, 1050 AM. Also streaming from the KCAA Radio.com website and mbrradio.us. We got to bless the show before we get started. Let's go. When I was in my mother's womb, I had a calling on my life to do something in the glory of God and marry it like a wife. Commit myself to his word and never be led astray. And when it's all over, when he comes, I'll be glad to see that day in the morning time. All right, good evening. Welcome to the Farron Dozier Show on KCAA Radio, 106.5 FM, 1050 AM. Also streaming from the KCAA Radio.com website, the station that leaves no listener behind. And make sure you go get the app too. Do you know I'm on the commercial for that app? I need my royalties, y'all. I know y'all running that commercial like 4, 5, 15, 20, 30 times a day. So but go get the app. Download the app on whatever device you listen to, watch, talk from, Apple, iOS. You can go there, get the app, and you can check out all the other talk shows here throughout the day, throughout the week, morning, noon, and night. Make sure you catch me also on Wednesdays at MB Radio. That's Military Broadcast Radio Network. Wednesdays at 4 p.m. Over there, we do the Black GI Radio talk and also the Trench Talk conversations over there. Just another version of the Farron Dozier Show that I get to express myself on Wednesdays. All right, if you want to be a guest, just hit me up, at Farron Dozier on all platforms. And also tonight, I'm not by myself. If you go to kcaradio.com and click Listen Live and Watch Live, I was about to say climb, huh? You can click Listen Live, Watch Live, and guess who's in the building today? Robert Lamar is in the zone.
You know what? I guess I'm here to keep this guy sober because he's been sipping on Sundays today. Happy Hour Unlimited.
You know what?
That's your boy WDC.
Nah.
Yeah. You go happy hour and not let your boy know.
Nah.
That's what you get. See, I'm gonna be over here. I'm gonna make fun of you every time you slip.
No, like that.
Happy hour. You don't invite your boy.
Fumble my words. That's all.
Happy hour, huh?
I just fumbled my words. That's all.
Oh, okay. Well, good for you, man. How was the juice?
It was good.
What you had going on today, man? I know you had an event, right?
Yeah, man. I was actually was able to participate in a very, very nice car show at the Elk Lodge.
Nice.
In West Covina, man. It was the West Covina Elk Lodge Casa Hernandez car show. Supporting veterans.
Same Hernandez that was here?
Here.
Yeah.
He's definitely connected with us. I got him and Coach Will being connected so we can do some football stuff out in
nice.
Marino, what is that, Montebello, that area out there. So, yeah, I was there, able to do a couple of interviews. And so I'm grateful for that, man, doing my military talk show stuff over there, supporting veterans. I didn't realize the great work that the Elk Lodges do. I'm familiar with the VFW and American Legion, but I've been to Elk Lodges before for like events.
Yeah,
but I didn't do any research or I didn't understand how great that organization is, man.
So you understand it now?
Oh man, they do a lot of good work. A lot of good work. So
our boy Hernandez really connected like that.
Oh yeah.
He was talking like he was.
Oh yeah.
I believed him too.
Yeah. No, he's straight, man. That the Elk Lodges are definitely community driven. You got to be 21 and over. You got to believe in God, whatever belief you are, just as long as you believe in God. And they do a lot of programs for veterans, youth, children with disabilities. Like I was definitely impressed. And the only way you can join is you got to be recommended by a member. So you just can't walk in and be like, I want to be a part of it. You got to be recommended by members.
So you need a referral.
He said he would refer me too.
Really?
Yeah, I was like, all right. I'm like, I like what y'all do.
So is there any benefits that goes with that? Any perks?
You know, just being a part of a community. They do a lot of fundraising. They give a lot of the money away. So they have fun. They have dinners. They have concerts. They have events, and most of the money that they collect, they donate. He said they're the number 2 out of giving out scholarships. And guess who number 1 is? The government.
Wow.
So they give that much money away.
That's a lot of
in
money.
scholarships.
Wow.
Second to the government. I was like, what? That's all the way to like 3rd grade. They give scholarships.
Wow.
So I was like, man, y'all do some talk about want to be a part of the community. I was like, okay, I'm definitely impressed. I didn't realize that's how they got down. So I thought it was like some other criteria, to be honest.
Yeah.
I thought it was some secret society. He's like, yeah, it's not secret society. I thought that was like some secret club or something.
Yeah. We used to have Thanksgivings at the Elk Lodge every year. That was pretty dope.
Yeah, yeah.
But you know, one of my it was from one of my former in-laws back in the day.
Yeah.
Like one of the aunties was really connected with like the city council and everything. You know,
yeah. So he says a lot of the assemblies and
mm-hmm.
council people they're part of the lodge. Mm-hmm. Ties them right to the community though.
Yep.
Yeah, you're right.
That's cool.
Yeah, man. So how you been? What's up with you?
Oh man,
you all Scally meat out and everything.
Oh, you know what it is.
It's like I remember the Scally
you
meat.
remember this one? It used to be every Friday night. Come to my game. come to get. I want a T-shirt. You got any hats?
Right.
All that. That was a good run, man. I just been thinking about it, and Scott's son is a pretty high-profile quarterback.
You seen that? You see it?
Well, we've seen it last year, but now, he, grew up a little bit.
Uh-huh.
And he's going to be a problem.
Yeah?
I think I'm going to check him out on Friday night.
Yeah?
Yeah, because he's going to be in the Valley. So since they're going to Birmingham, and, I'll be able to get my city section pass since you guys are not giving me my southern section pass.
We got to find it.
What do you mean you got to find it?
We got to find it.
That's insane.
We got to find it. I know they got to find it. He said they got to find it.
Yeah, well, find it. I can't get into the games because I'm Robert Lamar, but it'd be nice if I didn't have to throw that Robert Lamar card all the time.
And just show the pass. We gonna find it.
Exactly.
We gonna find it.
Yeah, find it.
If I got to come here myself and shuffle through the
I'll
mail.
go. Just give me something to pick a lock, and I'll go get up in there.
We got to find out where the mail is.
It's that simple. I will pick a lock up in here and go get my media pass.
It's somewhere.
You know what the funny part is? It's probably right over there, just looking at me. Be like, hey,
we right
what's
here.
What's up? Oh yeah. Anyways,
yeah.
But yeah. Jackson is really. He's only in the 10th grade too. Only in the 10th grade, but for his age group, he's one of the top quarterbacks in the country.
Really?
Yeah. It's serious like that.
I mean, I watched the development on Facebook. I mean, we had him in the studio, right when he was, getting started.
No, that's when he was getting good.
Oh, that's when?
Oh, I remember I covered a game when he was playing Pop Warner and was getting destroyed.
He went Pop Warner.
Destroyed.
Oh, he went all the way to Pop Warner, though.
Yeah, but when he came into the studio, it's like, okay, he's good now.
Yeah.
So he's just been building on that momentum of getting taller, getting stronger, getting faster.
All right, great, Scott.
That's Scott.
Right.
Hey, Scott put him through the gauntlet. That's why I said, did you ever think your dad was mean? Like, yeah, he said, yeah. I was there. It was a gauntlet.
Dang.
But yeah, shout out to Scott Carper, man.
That's a good look, man. That's a good look.
Absolutely.
Wow. All right. Well, we're going to do our normal format. I got some things I want to drop on y'all for a little bit, and then Robert Lamar, you're more than welcome to chime in because I know I have confidence in your listening and your abilities to communicate.
I'm not always about big booties and thick thighs.
Not
and everything,
always.
You feel me? It's comforting. It makes me happy, but
however,
you can't have a fat booty with a horrible soul.
Oh my gosh! Tell me about it.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
You can keep that to yourself.
Yes.
I don't want to be a part of you and your nasty soul.
But
if you got a beautiful soul and a big booty and thick thighs, though,
most Def was talking about.
I would love to be a part of what you got going on. You can come and share my world with me. But
is that a song?
Well, it sure is. With KRS One. But anywho, though, we're gonna get into something, and let's talk some real tonight, man. It's always good to kind of put real perspective out there.
Yeah. Especially towards sports, because, I mean, if we forget that athletes, they're people too, the people
Absolutely.
first.
Have emotions, feelings.
Before the uniform.
And they don't even know how to, pretty much relay these emotions and feelings.
Right.
And, everything is put in a box, and that is the most unhealthy thing you can do for yourself. Oh, my God. Coming from somebody that actually been there, done that, man. I wish I would have had a therapist when I was in high school. That would have, man.
So you getting the military perspective and an athlete perspective tonight in this conversation I'm going to drop, and I'm sure he don't even know the title or none of it yet, so I'm sure he can relate.
I don't need to know.
Don't need to know. So before we get started, I'm gonna drop this public service announcement to Comigo. We want to play the PSA Comigo. Make sure you check them out at comigo.com. It is dedicated for veterans like myself, because a lot of times a lot of us don't want drugs. And sometimes it might just be your breathing technique. So check out this device right here on the Farron Dozier Show.
Some of us still carry the burden of battle. It threatens to drown us in our everyday lives. In battle, we had our weapons and combat gear to keep us safe, to keep us confident. But when we returned home, we were not armed with weapons and gear to cope with our own minds. I was lucky to find my combat gear, my mental weapon, and it's called Comigo. Comigo is a drug-free device that allows you to achieve calm in less than 3 minutes in moments of anxiety, stress, anger, panic, or insomnia, not with medication, but rather by activating the parasympathetic nervous system through breathing regulation and multisensory stimulation. A recent study has shown that Comigo decreases PTSD and anxiety levels in veterans, helping those who are suffering and having a long-lasting effect. Visit Comigo.com to learn how you can get Comigo through the VA or with a special veterans discount code.
All right, welcome back. Oh, I was supposed to play some. Hold on, let me drop this. Will you play? Will you play for me? No, you're not gonna play for me. Okay, I guess that's not gonna play for me. Well, anyway, I should have brought my laptop. That's what I should have brought. Oh, see, not now. All right, so. Welcome back to the Farron Dozier Show, KCA Radio 106.5 FM, 1050 AM. I was trying to get some, just a little mood music, but it doesn't want to play. Yay. Is it there? Is it there? Nah, I didn't even play it. All right, anyway. So tonight's, heartfelt topic, life towards sports. I've done a lot of, I've done 15 years of work on myself. I'll put it that way. Right. And I'm trying to understand this conversation. You know how some people say, speak to the people that speak to you. Talk to the people that talk to you. Right? You get that kind of energy. And then in the next conversation, you hear, check on your strong friends. Check on your people, right? What is that? Why do we say in one hand, call people who call you, hang out with people who hang out with you, treat people, and then when that person that's in your life, and that person harms themselves or is in a depression state, or completes their life. And then you want to be like, oh, well, check on your friends. I didn't know they was dealing with nothing. Because you say in one hand, you keeping your circle small, but yet there's people out here that may not be the ones to make the first phone call. Right? So what is that? What do you think, Rob? Do you see that on social media a lot? Do you see where people make these comments about, hang out with the people that hang out with you. Call people who call you. I'm not giving out that energy. Like, don't kill my vibe. Like, all this other, selfish kind of stuff. But then as soon as somebody life is completed, then it's a whole nother story. I don't get that.
I mean, you see all types of garbage on social media. That's just what it is. Social media just got a whole lot of type of stuff on there. I get it though. Basically, you know, if you're looking at it from perspective, don't try to be dealing with people that don't really care about you. I mean, some people want to deal with people because of what they have sometimes. They want to have the stuff that they have, and they want to be around that type of stuff. But those people who have those things really don't give two damns about you. So who in your phone do you tap in with to the point where you texting, you calling, or you seeing, and like you're on a period, like on a weekly, monthly basis? Who are those people? And are those the people who, you know, get your time and energy because you guys actually generally, you know, care about each other? Then that's probably who they're, you know, who they're talking about, who you need to tap in with. But anything that's outside of that really ain't, not necessarily for you, but don't necessarily care, if that makes any type of sense. That's what I get off of that comment there. That's what I'm picking up off of that. So
Talk to who talks to you, like who likes you. That's tonight's segment, this first little piece. And I say that again because in one hand, talk to who talks to you, like who likes you. But then if a friend of yours harms themselves or something happens and you didn't talk to them, or they complete their life and you didn't get a chance to intervene, then there's a whole nother conversation that happens. And so I'm looking at it from this conversation here. You know, when people say this, to me, they're putting up a guard to protect themselves. That's what I hear.
okay,
I hear that when people say talk to who talks to you, like who likes you, is because there's something that they're protecting themselves from. And I just believe if you tell the truth about that, then you wouldn't have this coming out of your mouth. It's like saying, I don't want to give any more energy than I get. Because if I do, I might get hurt, ignored, or embarrassed. And you said it, right? You said something similar to that. That's what I hear when people say, talk to who talks to you, like who likes you.
yeah,
I think some, maybe not all, but some are avoiding getting hurt again, being ignored, or embarrassed. And I think underneath it, it's not about the balance, it's about the fear or rejection and the desire to belong. Because I think at the end of the day, we all want to belong to some club, some team, some part of our family, some relationship. There's something there that I believe there's a fear of something is why people say that out of their mouth.
I hear that. You kind of touched on it because me and you can say the same thing, but it can mean something different. What have we went through that is causing us to say what we're saying?
Yeah.
Because we don't know what we have been through. So I can tell you something, just like we just said, similar but different things about this.
Right.
Just I hear it, but I comprehend it a little bit differently.
Yeah.
So you got to even unpack all that, and that's a whole nother 5 minutes? 5 minutes to unpack that. So we don't even know what the whole context of it really is.
Exactly, because a lot of times we describe life, as you say, you know, we describe it, but we don't say what's so, because again, how am I guarding myself in these conversations?
Right.
Am I protecting being rejected? Am I reach out to you and then I get embarrassed because I want to call you, but I don't call you. And then when I do call you, you ain't got time for me. Or, you know, I think there's a lot of things that comes behind that statement.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's necessarily empowering conversation when people say that. I think people are guarded.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Most definitely. For one, we went through a reset in the world like 5 years ago. That changed everything for a lot of people. I mean, think about what people lost. People lost businesses, like contracts. I lost a major contract during the pandemic.
So you're talking about 2020, yeah.
That could have changed everything around me.
Now that's
could have changed our circumstance.
That's true.
And
that's true.
People lost family members, friends.
Yeah.
So, like, there's so much that was lost in a time where we all had to deal with it. We dealt with a real plague in our lifetime, a plague that we thought we will never ever see. We didn't even. The mass majority has never even heard of it.
Yeah.
So that one. That's part of it. So what did we? So how did everybody come away from that?
You know, I was affected behind it.
Yeah,
because I now pick and choose environments I want to go to.
Mm-hmm.
So I could be at home and I'd be like, oh, I want to go to this place. I want to go over here, and I'd be like, nah, it's too many people.
Yeah.
Right. So that's where my mind goes. And I was already kind of a homebody anyway, but now like you said, now we're back to whatever this new normal is,
right, or
where we're at today, and then I still question, like, do I want to put myself in that situation?
Right.
So I guess that could be one.
It's a part of what is what. It's not the overriding factor, of course.
No.
But it's helped shape part of the equation. So,
but what do you? So at the core of the pandemic, right?
Mm-hmm.
At the core heart of it, what do you think was the biggest concern for the world at that time of the pandemic? Those took about 3 years to pretty much settle back down. What do you? If I ask you, what was at the core of that for human beings, for people?
What was the number one concern? Am I going to die?
Thank you.
The number one concern.
Thank you.
And there was nothing that nobody can do anything about.
No.
But it was going to happen. I lost my grandmother to that. You know, and my ex, she lost family members. You know, my friends, they lost family members. Yeah. And it's crazy because some of those family members, you saw them, and friends you saw,
just
everybody was fine.
Just months before.
Right. And then all of a sudden, they got it.
Yeah.
And they couldn't recover. So that's the first time, see, me personally, I'm like, oh, okay, so we were targeted, and I don't even think it was successful enough because I don't think enough of us died. A lot did, but I don't think enough did. It was really watching Thanos and his mind frame
right.
of reducing the population of the earth.
It was an attempt.
And it happened. And that's what's scary. Like, zombie apocalypse? Like, really? Like, we're really talking about this?
Yeah.
That was goofy.
Wild. That was wild.
So yeah, I mean, you know, and that's kind of veering off a little bit, but
no, it's in line because
what we do see that class that we took, that course, we don't never just think about everything just on the surface level of what we just see.
Yeah, no.
We always have to kind of dig into, okay, so what is really what's what here? And then once you start to dig and start to unpack and uncover, then you understand, okay, I get it now.
Yeah. The fear of I mean, that's the number one human being concern is the fear of dying too soon.
Yeah.
You know, things like that. And the second part, which is more of this context, is the sense of belonging. Is why I said I feel like when people say that about talk to you, like who likes you, because underneath it, their sense of belonging has been fractured, right? And because human beings, we're wired for connection. We want to be heard. We want to be valued as people.
Yeah.
Right? And so when we don't feel that, we want to pull back and protect ourselves, protect those feelings and emotions. Remember, your soul is your mind, will, and emotions. That's what leads our life. And in a survival state of mind, protecting my feelings, I would rather pull back and say a statement like that. Talk to who talk to you, like who likes you, in fear of me feeling those rejections or disappointments or embarrassments again.
Yeah.
But you don't realize that you just closed off your community.
Yeah.
That's what I hear.
I can see that. It's like, it's nobody wants to be. For one, we all want to live until, in our mind, until it's our terms are okay with to the point we're not here, and it just doesn't work that way.
No.
But we want to kind of go out on top if that's a saying. But also, you do want to protect yourself too while you're here, because there's a lot of dope stuff about everybody. That's a lie, but I'm going to say it anyways. So, everybody has a good thing about them that somebody that lacks that good thing attracts to.
At the heart of it, though,
Right.
at the heart of it, people want to be connected. People want to express love. People want to be loved. They want to share love. They want to hang out. They want to. But if you've got these experiences from your past, again, shame, embarrassment, disappointment, those, you're not going to be free. You're not going to be free to just say, hey, let me just call Robert and see how you doing today. And even if he don't answer the phone and I leave a voicemail and you don't call me back, at least I called.
Yeah.
Right? But again, I know that even for myself, before, I would call somebody, oh, you busy? Okay, I'll talk to you later. And then think they don't care about me. But I never had the confidence or the courage to say what I needed to say while I had them on the phone. So the part of that, why I brought this conversation up, is the contradiction that I hear from talk to who talks to you, like who likes you, and then in one hand, you only pour into the people who pour into you, and on the other hand, get out of your, you don't get out of your way to make sure your other friends are okay. So you're saying the same thing that you're not doing, that you think people are not doing to you. So I'm protecting myself. To me, that's a contradiction, because as soon as somebody, you see it, as soon as somebody hurts themselves or completes their life, check on your strong friends. Check on your people. We need to check on your friend. To me, in our social media world as a context, that is what I say is the contradiction, because in one hand we say this, and in the other hand we say something totally different. And tonight I'm just asking, what is that?
Also, I can interpret that. Make sure you check in, period. Don't wait until something happens, or good or bad, to tap in and say, hey, or say what's up. There's never a bad time to say hello. Never. And I used to, when things were really bad with me, I would go into a corner,
Shut down,
and work myself out of that. And I wouldn't come outside until I did.
without asking for help.
Yeah, that was pretty tough.
Well, that's
Pretty
the
tough.
other side of that.
Yeah. I mean, it's really tough. And especially when you're in that hole, when you think you got a teammate and you're not getting any type of help. That's another conversation in itself.
Well, that's this other piece that I want to touch on before we get out of here, is why suicide and loneliness enters the picture. Now, I can tell you from my own personal experience that I couldn't articulate this at the time, but in the 15 years of peeling off these layers of my own life experiences and challenging my thoughts and putting that up against biblical principles and those landmark classes and grief classes and trying to find space in mental health classes, I did discover something, man. I discovered that for me, when it got to the point of despair, like you said, when you go in that hole and then you're trying to dig yourself out, for me there was hope on one end, There was hopelessness on the other end of it. There was disappointment, and not always disappointment in other people, but disappointment in myself. Like, how did you get in this hole again, man? Like, what are you doing? Like, how did you? And so you deal with all that in your own mind. And then what I saw, and after I took those classes and got into church, was past disappointment was the despair. The despair was like, there's no way out. Like I don't want to make new decisions because I may been making my decisions don't work, or whatever the decision making process that I use is got me in this situation again. And it's like, okay, the moment of despair hits. For me, it was like self-loathing. So there'd be days that I felt great, and then there'd be days I'd be in my head like, damn, like, what are you doing, bro? Like, how come we can't get this together?
Yeah.
Right? And that was before my dad passed. When my dad passed, it was like, now I had that mental anguish on top of it, because now I'm trying to figure out my life, how much time I got. We talking about what's the fear, right? Is our fear of our own death. So I had added all that on top of it. And so by the time I had the hope mixed with the hopelessness, mixed with the disappointment, mixed with the despair, my experience of myself was self-loathing. I had my good and my bad days. And then but what would come out of my mouth is like, why bother?
Yeah.
Why bother? And when you get to that space of why bother, bro, that's where the suicide ideations come in. That's where the anxiety, the disappointment, this depression, depends on if it's past or you living in the future too far ahead. Like, but if you separate yourself and say call the people who call you, like people who like you, you just put yourself in that hole.
Yep.
The very hole that you're trying to protect yourself from,
Yep.
you put yourself in that same hole, and that's why I'm saying, why do we say that? Like, that's my question.
Yeah.
And now if you're an athlete, you're a military athlete, and now you got your sports, you got that drive, you got all this life, and it's like, but you don't want to communicate with nobody.
Yeah.
You don't want to put yourself out there because of the past disappointments, the past hurts. And I just think that needs to be a conversation that it has to be addressed.
Sports is tough when you when it's the end of the road and you've been doing it since you were a kid. Ooh, that's brutal.
That what's next?
What else am I gonna do? I've been doing this since I was 6. Now you're 20 and you realize that that's a very early age for the rest of your life, God willing.
Right.
For you to have to figure it out. Yeah, that wasn't X's.
And be driven. And sometimes the stuff that drives us, it also hurts us.
Yeah.
At the same time. That's why, when I got back into church, looking at what the word says, what the world say, man, I found way more peace in what the word said than what the world was saying. Like, it was just two different conversations. But at the core of us as people, I'm gonna say this, is fear. As we pointed out, fear. We want to protect ourselves from shame, rejection, and disappointment. At the end of the day, I believe that's what that statement represents. Is how I'm saying I'm protecting myself without saying it. But behind what I'm saying, out of my heart, it's protecting myself from something. When love is risking your vulnerability and creating a real connection and belonging. So if I was being loving, I wouldn't say, if I'm being loving, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say call who called me.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say like who like me if I was being loving. That's how I know language is powerful, because of what people say out of their mouth.
Yeah. You have a different perspective of the world, too. You fought across the world, and you've had to make life-changing decisions on a drop of a dime. So that's really tough for you. You see the world, and you understand why most of the stuff you see is happening. You understand it differently.
Let me tell you what this Vietnam veteran told me today. he had throat cancer, so his neck, he had to have surgery. Was wounded, Purple Heart in Vietnam. You know what he said? Only 2 people have given their life for people: Jesus Christ and a soldier.
Yeah.
And the way he framed it, I was like, he said, Christ gave his life for our soul, and veterans gave their life for our freedom.
Yeah.
I was like, dang, bro. I had to shake his hand on that one. I was like,
Yeah.
and he's like, and they treat veterans as such.
Which is wild. Yeah, that's why veterans, when people be making their political stances, like a veteran is going to look at anyone's political stance differently, because a veteran has fought for the freedoms and liberties that you take for granted.
Wow.
So they understand that, you know, you have the right to express based off of your freedom of speech.
Yeah.
You know, you have the right to express yourself. You know, he or she put their life on the line so you can do that.
Yeah. And I don't want to leave this on that note, but I do have a couple more pieces. And like I said, at the end of the day, I'm gonna drop these key points, and we'll talk about it another time. Love is always a risk. Love is a risk, right? Because of our past experiences and having that fear of being rejected or disappointed. But that's why you got to have your own self-love. You got to restore your own self-love. So if nobody loves you, you love you. You've got to restore your self-love. God built us for belonging. We are social beings. We're designed to be social beings. God said it in Genesis 2:18. From the beginning, it is not good for man to be alone. Alone is all in one, but that's what he was talking about. That's why he made Eve. Alone means all in one, not alone by yourself. So you got to understand the context. Number 3, fear versus longing in the heart. And again, fear whispers you got to protect yourself. But your spirit wants to be known, be loved, belong. That's the situation in our conversations. Lastly, I'm going to leave it at that. You know, for me, I had to separate the difference between being alone and lonely, because they feel the same sometimes. Mm-hmm. So when I restored my self-love, when I did that work 15 years ago, and I got a glimpse of that, bro, I've been chasing that piece, that self-love. That's why I've done all this work on myself for the last 15 years, because I realized I had made a lot of decisions and made up a lot of stories that just wasn't the truth. It was my view, but it wasn't the whole view. Mm-hmm. And when you get to a place that you're chasing peace and you're chasing love and kindness and you're living these biblical principles, there's no way I could say a statement like that. I'm going to call who calls me. I'm going to like who likes me, in a different frame of mind.
Yeah.
All right. What you got before
I got
pass
nothing.
it to you?
Let's go hit that commercial.
All right, let's play the commercial. We got Robert Lamar next. Is in the zone. We're going to talk some sports, some highlights, life tour sports, whatever he got. I'm good. Shout us out. What's the count? Check us at Sports Collective Media on Instagram, and we'll be right back.
Some of us still carry the burden of battle. It threatens to drown us in our everyday lives. In battle, we had our weapons and combat gear to keep us safe, to keep us confident. But when we returned home, we were not armed with weapons and gear to cope with our own minds. I was lucky to find my combat gear, my mental weapon, and it's called Calmago. Calmago is a drug-free device that allows you to achieve calm in less than 3 minutes in moments of anxiety, stress, anger, panic, or insomnia, not with medication, but rather by activating the parasympathetic nervous system through breathing regulation and multisensory stimulation. A recent study has shown that Calmago decreases PTSD and anxiety levels in veterans, helping those who are suffering and having a long-lasting effect. Visit Calmago.com to learn how you can get Calmago through the VA or with a special veterans discount code.
yeah. Give me the night. All right, welcome back to the Farron Dozier Show. Sports Selective TV, media, and radio. We're up next, man. Robert Lamar, man, what you got for us? We going in the zone. Where we going?
So you know it's a very, very good time out here in California when high school football starts back up. The state of Florida requested for our top school services since they wanted to smoke. The state of Florida is reconsidering that, considering that they went 0-3 this weekend. It's Cali ball, baby. West Coast, baby. L.A., what's happening? Shout out to Modern Day. They played a traditional powerhouse in St. Thomas Aquinas. And they had to win it by 3. The game was a little bit Modern Day was dominating it in the first half, and then St. Thomas made a comeback. But at the end of the day, they did win by 3 points on the road. Yeah. That is a very good victory. But it wasn't as dominant because I don't care what how the game played out. Like, if the final score is only 3 points away, that means it was a close game at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So, but it's better to win than to lose. And Modern Day did that as the number 1 team in the country, and St. John Bosco played. And they, man, it was – I believe they called their game at halftime due to weather.
What?
They were winning like 31-0. But Orange Lou, they did their thing too. So it was a good weekend for Cali football. A lot of local teams got their feet wet.
Yeah.
Shout out to our very own Pacific. Is it Pacific? Yeah, Pacific High School.
Yeah.
With Coach Burries and them blowing the socks off.
The socks?
Oh my goodness!
Was that the game they was talking about here when they was here?
Yeah, 42-7, I believe.
What?
I'm calling it right now. Pacific is going to win a state title this year.
Oh man!
I'm calling it. I don't know if I thought I called it last week, but they're going to win a state title this year.
Wow.
Yeah, it's lining up for them, and they don't even got all their dogs yet. They still got to wait for the sit out period to happen.
Oh yeah, that part. But I mean, that was a good interview, and
that was a good. And
he didn't give it all away, but he gave out enough.
He gave out enough, and that's a very influential individual out in this area, in this city.
Yeah,
and it made sense to finally be able to get him for him to lead his own program, and for it to be his former program where he came from.
Where he came from.
That's big time. That's really big, and I'm happy for him because he knows that it's a hard job, but somebody has to do it.
Yeah.
And you got to be that certain type of individual to be able to do something like that because that job isn't designed for everybody whatsoever. That's not the job you can collect a paycheck and like, okay, I'm going home.
Yeah,
no, you actually got to do a lot of groundwork. You got to care about these kids.
Yeah.
On and off the field. And they got the right guy, and that guy is going to change the whole dynamics in San Bernardino football.
That's what I was thinking as you were saying that. Is that going to keep the athletes in the Inland Empire if other schools start to develop their own or take a chance on their own? Or is that going to take some more time?
It's going to take some more time. And for one, see, when you got schools that are reaching out like the Modern Days, the St. John Bosco's, other schools, Orange Lutherans, stuff like that. Yeah. There's a thing called the high school transfer portal too.
Oh, God.
And it's not free for these kids to be like, yeah, just come here. No. There's a lot of money involved. So if that's happening and you're going to get a private school experience and you out here from the IE, you don't know what a private school experience looked like.
Right.
You couldn't even think of that.
Right. So you might take that chance.
You're most likely going to take that chance. They're going to send a van for you. The van pool is real. It's a real thing. And they get on that toll roll to make sure they get down to where they need to get to. Yeah, they're going to do that. And that's just the nature of the beast because I'm going to tell you what. There's a private school in Torrance called Bishop Montgomery. And they got some top kids that, decided to transfer there. The CIF said, no, thank you. You're ineligible. You can't approve your place of residence, residence and all that stuff. Some of these cats are going into their senior years, and they have no season.
Oh, my goodness.
Can you imagine what type of train wreck that is? That's insane.
That don't even sound right.
But when it comes to like certain schools, like your Mater Deis, your Boscos, your Orange Lou's, and all those other, Santa Margaritas, all that, those kids cleared. Yeah, it's one of those things where the question that we need to ask is the CIF picking and choosing who they're targeting, or are the parents not doing what they're supposed to do
to make it happen?
Yeah. And at this point, I think I'm leaning more towards the parents.
The parents?
Oh, yeah. Do you know how many parents we see mismanage their kids?
Oh.
Chasing a football, basketball dream?
Yeah, yeah.
It's
okay.
like I wish this camera can zoom. Like, look at me. Look at me. How many more parents have to screw their kids up?
Oh.
I've been watching it professionally, I've been watching it for 10 years. On just GP, I've been watching it way longer than 10 years. But on a professional standpoint, how many more parents are going to screw their kids up? Your kid isn't that great, and that's okay, because we're dealing with a lot of scholarships. I mean, for one, they're limited. There ain't that many.
Right.
There's not that many. It's okay if your little, Tay-Tay didn't get his scholarship. He has a thing called junior college where he can try another 2 or 3 more years. But you think your baby, because, look, I get it, you're tired. You've been dealing with Tay-Tay and his football dreams since he was 7 years old. And now, and this is the $1 million thing right now. Before the season starts, in July, you get the day where if you got a scholarship offer, you get the official letter.
Right.
If you don't get a letter that day, that means that there's a big chance. It's not saying that it's 100% likely,
right? But
it's a humongous chance that you're probably not going to get a scholarship this year, unless you have this phenomenal senior year that is super special. Now, I'm rooting for every last one of you guys that didn't get that official letter. But what I'm not rooting for is being unrealistic, because there's a lot of talent that has come from the JUCO ranks.
Right.
I know that it is crazy. At this point, to have an ego is insane. How do you got an ego when you ain't got no scholarship offer? You serious? The coaches just told you how they felt about you by not telling you anything. They don't know you. Wake up.
We know that those percentages are small, from high school to college to pros. That's what we're talking about. Like, what do you tell that athlete that, you know what, bro? We need to redirect we need to redirect your conversation.
I tell them that after they have no options after JUCO. You can keep going to JUCO. JUCO's for that. It's for development, to help to continue to develop you towards where you're going. And if that development just doesn't happen at that point where you don't have a next in line outlet,
right?
Before they're even at that point, we're telling them, you need to figure out what do you like outside of football, so that could be your fallback plan. If football was taken away today, what can you see yourself doing in life that you love to do?
So are you saying that if a high school athlete doesn't get that scholarship to go to college, D1, D2, D3, whatever, college, don't be disappointed and go to JUCO.
And grind. JUCO is a grind because JUCO is designed to get you pushed out. And what I mean pushed out, not like in regards to propelling, but the washout. That is what JUCO's for. JUCO will wash you out big time. But if you can stay focused and fight through that and keep going forward,
you can get through that next level.
If you don't have an option when it comes to sports, you have an option when it comes to academics.
But if it's safe to say, if we go back in time, during your era, let's go to your era.
Okay.
Was JUCO a disappointment? Was that embarrassing to go to JUCO when you have that drive to get to a college scholarship at that level of D1, D2, D3, and you don't get it?
We didn't.
Was JUCO
no.
man, that's like
hell no, it was not.
So I'm asking
because we didn't live in a social media era.
Well, but no.
And then also our parents wasn't as quote unquote empowered as these parents, and these parents are absolutely not empowered. They think they are,
right?
But they're not. So you have entitled parents at the core of things now. And it's just like, yeah, you think that you got an opinion, but boo-boo don't got no scholarship. So your opinion don't matter either way.
Wow.
So
did JUCO ever have a bad rap? Or is it like trying to get to the NFL? Is
during the social
picture?
media era, JUCO became a bad rap because you had the D1 or nothing mentality. We had a player who was a women's basketball player who basically said that if it's not D1, we're not going. And you know who I'm talking about. She had that mentality, and then basically she had to accept it later when she was older. But she exhausted her eligibility from JUCO. She went to like D3s academically.
Yeah.
And a D3 academically.
And had a great high school ending.
She didn't have a great high school ending.
No, okay.
But she had an ending.
An ending.
Because she gave herself an opportunity to have an ending.
Yeah.
But with her sorry mentality, she watched all her peers pass her by.
Right. For that D1 or nothing.
D1 or nothing.
You're right. That was a real period too. That might still be lingering out there.
No, it's gone.
It's gone?
That transfer portal has humbled
What if
people.
the parents is holding on to that though?
They can't, because if your son is getting nothing or your daughter, then there's nothing that you can do as a parent. You can't do
nothing about that.
You can't go talk to somebody.
Yeah, you can't go talk to the
They'd
college.
be like, if you don't sit down. Matter of fact, no, the first thing I'm going to ask, I'm sorry, who are you?
That's like my mom going to the military and be like, hey, what you doing to my son?
He can't be shooting nothing.
That's like, yeah.
And they'd be like, ma'am, he's going to kill.
D1 or nothing. I remember that.
It's done. That transfer portal has humbled people. And I'm going to tell you something.
Well, the transfer portal is not an issue now.
The transfer portal is absolutely an issue.
That's the issue now.
It's an absolute issue because, with Coach Will and his son, Arion, prime example. Arion, before this transfer portal, would have had like 30 scholarship offers, could have went anywhere he wanted to go. But since college coaches don't invest in 18-year-olds anymore unless they're blue chippers, then they're forced to go to JUCO. Arion's going to kill it this year in JUCO.
Yeah.
He's going to have a great year, and he's going to make it work.
He's that example you're talking about.
He's going to make it work.
Yeah.
Because they're going to see his talent, and they're going to be so ecstatic to get him into a program when it happens.
Yeah.
Because for one, he's going to have good grades.
Yeah.
He's going to be mentally more mature.
Yeah.
And he's going to be ready to go.
Yeah.
So he's going to be fine. And that's what I mean by that. It's okay.
Yeah.
Prove him wrong. And he will.
The parents got to be okay. We gotta have a talk with the parents to be okay with that.
Well, and he has a father who's very realistic, and he has a father that did everything to put him in a position to win.
Right.
And with the whole recruitment of things, and in their particular situation, it was a shady recruitment.
Yeah.
He had options, and then these coaches are leaving jobs. They're getting fired. They're going this and that. And it's just like you get lost in the shuffle. And Ari was really one of those recruits that got lost in the shuffle. But he's going to be fine, though. So, we're excited to see, him do his thing for the next 1 or 2 years.
So before we get out of here, this is Robert Lamar, Sports Selective TV Media Rater. Shouts out to Coach Will. What's up for you next, man? We got 45 seconds. What's up for you this?
Just writing, man. Check out your boy at, DiceCitySports.com. I am the boxing and MMA analyst for Dice City. So check me out. And subscribe, man. Journalism is not dead.
No.
Tap into your boy Robert Lamar.
Hey, we appreciate y'all for tuning in tonight. Again, thanks for listening. Hit us up at Sports Selective TV, Media Radio on social media, and Farron Dozier in the zone with Robert Lamar, Heem Factor, Coach Will. Shout us out what's account next week. Peace out.
Some of us still carry the burden of battle. It threatens to drown us in our everyday lives. In battle, we had our weapons and combat gear to keep us safe, to keep us confident. But when we returned home, we were not armed with weapons and gear to cope with our own minds. I was lucky to find my combat gear, my mental weapon, and it's called Calmago. Calmago is a drug-free device that allows you to achieve calm in less than 3 minutes. In moments of anxiety, stress, anger, panic, or insomnia, not with medication, but rather by activating the parasympathetic nervous system through breathing regulation and multisensory stimulation. A recent study has shown that Calmago decreases PTSD and anxiety levels in veterans, helping those who are suffering and having a long-lasting effect. Visit Calmago.com to learn how you can get Calmago through the VA or with a special veterans discount code.
KCAA.
This important time-sensitive message